student would then write it on the board. And so we'd have a whole math board of real life connections.
You're recording.
So that make it meaningful. Okay? Alright. So before we begin, I want you guys to know this is 5th grade. We've already learned about shapes, their sides, and their angles. So you guys are already familiar with that. This is more of like an add-on, and it gets more in depth. Okay? Cool? We're in 5th grade. Okay, cool. Alright. Today we're going to talk about, we're going to continue our discussion on shapes, sides, and angles. First of all, let's survey who can remember what we talked about yesterday. Can everybody stand up, please? Okay, I need you guys to spread out your arms, so give each other enough room so you're not hitting each other, please. Okay, yesterday we learned some definitions of parallel and perpendicular. Okay, who can put their arms so that they're parallel to each other? Way to go. Awesome, yes. Parallel means what?
They go the same way, but they don't touch.
Yes, they never touch. They're the equal distance from each other. Okay, who can form a 90-degree angle with your arms? 90 degrees, yes. Everyone's got, Jason, you're kind of doing it. You're being a little bit artistic with it. Yes, exactly. 90 degrees is also called what?
Right angle.
Right angle. Awesome. Okay, who can form an acute angle with your arms? Remember, exactly. That's how we remember it. They're little and cute like babies. Who can do it? It's less than 90 degrees. Let me see everyone do it. Yeah. Yes, Donovan's doing it great. Awesome. Way to go.
Oh, that works.
Okay. Who can hold their arms so they're perpendicular to the floor?
Wait.
Who remembers what perpendicular means?
Wait.
Crosses.
And they form a right angle.
Yes.
Yes.
Like this or
yes, you're right,
like
but we
this?
need to do it to the floor.
So
To the floor. The floor is our bottom line. Put your arm so it makes it right. Yes. Okay, the table. Good job. Yep.
Above and beyond.
Yep. Way to go. Awesome. Okay. Last but not least, who can hold your arms so they form a right angle and are parallel to each other? Can anybody do it? That's right, Cassie. It is impossible. Why is it impossible?
Well, because parallel, they are never supposed to meet.
They're never supposed to meet, and a right angle would meet.
It wouldn't.
Awesome. Way to go. You guys are so smart. Okay, you can all take your seats. It looks like you guys all remembered everything we learned yesterday, which is great. Okay, so now we're gonna practice with the worksheet, and you guys are gonna practice in partners, okay? In triplets, since we're combining these today. Okay, so here's your worksheet. What I want you to do is, with your group of 3, there's some shapes that have already been started, and you need to finish drawing them in the box, okay? It tells you have an equilateral triangle, a square, a rhombus, and hexagon. Those are all shapes we talked about. So I want you to continue drawing them, which means you have to figure out which one is which, okay? And when you do, write down your answers at the bottom. You guys, give you guys maybe 2 minutes for teamwork.
Shapes in the box.
That's a triangle.
So this will be the rhombus, and this will be the hexagon. Okay. And then draw. And that's the equilateral triangle. So start the one that goes down like this.
Yeah. I think so. Looks good to me. And another one square.
It's just a really skewed.
Yes. That's good work, everybody.
Yeah.
O N O B O.
I don't know.
O B O.
No, you're right. Explain how we said
What? It's with all of
process of elimination.
Reflection.
How many days? Alright. Elimination.
Process of elimination.
That's a good way to go on the first reflection. So my lesson's pretty much just gonna be to review off of.
So this one's the
Oh, I made my
hexagon.
so this morning we got scratched.
The other one's a rhombus.
Okay. I'm sorry I have to rush you just because we have a short period today. Who can tell me what they got for the first shape? What was it?
Hexagon.
Hexagon.
Yes, awesome. What's the next one?
Rhombus.
Okay, so some said rhombus, some said equilateral triangle. Why do we think the second one is an equilateral triangle?
Because we have the ability to make the sides look equal length and the angles in equal measure.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one and see what we did. There may be multiple answers to this. Okay, the second one, what'd you do?
We did a rhombus thing.
You made it a rhombus.
Possibly.
Triangle.
Okay,
Triangle.
remember it has to be an equilateral triangle, which means all sides are the same length. So did you draw them extended? Is that what you did?
Yes, but they are not the same length. We just drew a regular triangle.
You have to remember that equilateral, all of them are equal. The angles and the sides. It says at the top which ones they are.
The middle of my triangle just got hacked off. That's what happened.
Okay, alright.
That's why he's
Rhombus is
just a
a
little
trapezoid.
stubbier on the bottom.
Your rhombus is a trapezoid.
Your rhombus is a trapezoid.
Alright. Donovan.
Sorry.
Let's be nice to our peers. Okay, so the last one, what did we have?
A square.
You had a
Well,
square?
It's supposed to be a square.
Okay. I'm gonna look because I feel like there might be multiple answers, so that could work.
We don't have any equilateral triangles for us.
That's probably why that happened, you're right. Okay, the first one is a hexagon.
Yay!
The second one is your equilateral triangle, okay?
Yay!
Your third one is going to be your rhombus.
Yay!
Your fourth one is your square.
Yeah.
Okay, but I understand where you guys could be confused about that.
agree, yeah.
Obviously, we just need to remember equilateral, you can remember equal. Everything's equal, okay? Awesome. Alright, so today, if you guys want to put those worksheets aside, we're going to move on. Like I do every day, I have our standards posted first day, and our standards tell us what we're going to try and learn, okay? So, I could read to you what these are, but who knows these are kind of confusing sometimes. Yes, we know that. Sometimes they're not kid-friendly. So, let me tell you, our standards, we are covering 5GB3 and 5GB4. If you want to tell your parents that, that's what we talked about today, you can. But, what that means is, since we're familiar with sides and shapes and angles, we're going to learn how to classify the shapes based on their properties. This is our first word, classify. Classify means to put into categories. So, for example, in science, we might classify animals as mammals, reptiles, birds. Can anyone think of another place where we would classify? It could be in science, it could be in something else.
Is that like in the newspaper when they have to classify ads?
Yeah, it could be they've classified them, exactly. What's another example?
Different types of cheese.
Yes, different types of cheese, that's right. Where would you see it classified?
At the store.
At the store. Can someone think of another one?
The FBI.
Oh, the FBI. That's a different word for classified. There it means that it's secret. You can't see it.
Okay.
Here it means that we're separating them into categories. But good thinking. Alright? So far we've been calling our pieces. We've been looking at shapes, right? These have been our shapes we've been looking at, like on our thing. And we just looked at them, we just drew them. We've been calling these shapes, okay, for the last couple days. But today we're going to learn a new scientific math word for them, okay? These are called polygons. Can everyone say polygon?
Polygon.
Polygon.
Feels like a parrot. Polygon.
Polly's gone, that's right. Okay, so a polygon is a two-dimensional figure made up of 3 line segments called sides. Let's repeat that. A polygon. Repeat after me. A polygon.
A polygon
Is a two-dimensional figure
is a two-dimensional figure
made of 3 line segments
made of 3 line segments
or more
or more
called sides.
called
Sides.
sides.
Okay, so it is the same as a shape, but this is our new word. We're going to start referring to these as polygons. This is our 6th grade word. A shape is a 5th grade word. We're going to start calling it a polygon, okay? Okay, the sides of polygons are connected, okay, to make one path, and the sides never cross. Let's look at this. I know it's small. Our sides are here and here. They're connected, so they make one path. If you were on a little car, you could go all the way around, okay? The sides never cross, okay? If the sides cross, it's not a polygon, okay? All right. Every polygon, okay, actually, let's look at our textbook page, which you're going to share. If these were actual textbooks, obviously you look at them. Pass that back. Let's look at our textbook page. Can anyone read the first paragraph for me?
A polygon is a flat, two-dimensional figure made up of line segments called sides. A polygon can have any number of sides as long as it has at least 3. The interior inside of a polygon is not part of the polygon.
Okay, great job. Can someone read the last 2 bullet points? This is review. We just talked about this. Go ahead.
The side of a polygon are connected end to end to make one closed path. The side of a polygon does not cross.
Awesome. That's just what I told you about. Okay? So, we know what a polygon is. Now we're going to talk about the property of a polygon. Can everyone say property?
Property.
Awesome. So the property of a polygon is a certain characteristic. Okay? We're already familiar with some of them. You just didn't know they were called properties. Okay? Yes. For example, some polygons have right angles. What shape has a right angle in it?
Square.
Square. Good job. Way to go. Okay, so that's a property. If a polygon has right angles, that's a property. Okay. Let's look at some. We already did that. Okay. Another polygon property is that some have 4 sides. What shape has 4 sides?
Chalkboard.
Yeah, that's right. A rectangle, which is a chalkboard.
The square they have written on chalkboard.
Yes, way to go. So it has 4 sides. So what was our first property we talked about?
Right angles.
Yes. So some polygons have right angles. That's its property. Okay. Some polygons have 4 sides. That is its property. Good job. Okay. Can someone give me an example of a property? How about we look at this shape right here? Well, that's 4 sides. So let's look at a cool one. Okay. Let's look at this shape. What properties does this have? Acute angles, that's right, because these are smaller than 90 degrees. How many sides does this have? Can you see? 4. Yes, it is really small. Yep. It has 4 sides. So our properties of this shape, or this polygon, are it has acute angles and has 4 sides. Way to go. Okay. Can someone give me an example of a polygon property?
A star has 10 sides.
Awesome. Way to go. Can someone give me another one?
A square has 4 90-degree angles.
The square has 4 90-degree angles. Way to go. That's not bad. Okay. Now that you're familiar with properties, let's play a game to practice, okay? So what I'm going to do is give you some polygons. You're going to play. So what I need everyone to do is move their pieces of paper. Okay. Here are your polygons. And here are your polygons. And everyone say thank you to Chachi for cutting these.
Thanks, Chachi.
Okay. So what we're going to do, this game is called Polygon Capture. And what this is going to do is this is going to help us practice knowing our properties, okay? So each card on here, each of these has a property on it, okay? Some are for angles and some are for sides, so you'll see that. So what you're going to do is, I'm mixing these up so that we have an even amount, okay? You guys will have those, and you guys will have these ones.
I have 2 J's.
That's okay if you have multiple shapes. Okay, what you're going to do is when it's your turn, you're going to pick up either an angle property or a side property. You can pick whichever one you want to do. You're going to pick it up, and you have to pull out all the pieces with that property on it, okay? The goal is to have all the pieces at the end of the game, the most pieces. Okay? Now, if you pick up a card and it has a property and you forget to pick up a piece with that property and someone else notices, they can take that piece. Okay? So let's try and play Polygon Capture with our polygons. Does anyone have any questions?
Are we doing this as team?
Yes. No. You guys are against each other.
I don't like that.
That's okay. It's friendly competition. It's not an angry competition. So first person, Chachi, why don't you pick up a piece, a property?
No,
What does it say?
only one pair of sides is parallel.
Okay, so find a piece that only one pair of sides is parallel.
No
obviously we can continue playing this later after recess. Okay, let's do a short review before we go out. Okay, can anybody tell me what these are called? What are these called? What are the things in front of you called?
Polygons.
Polygons. Awesome. Great job. Okay. What are the different characteristics of polygons called?
Properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, properties. Great job. Okay. This is a question. Can a polygon share properties? So can multiple polygons have one property?
Yes.
Yes.
We got all of them.
Good job. Can one polygon have multiple properties? Yes. Because it can have angles or side properties. Okay? What do I mean when I say to classify the polygon? Put them in groups. Way to go. You can name them too. That's right. But what we talked about is you're going to separate them into groups. Okay? All right. Last question. Can anyone think of a real-world connection to put on our connections board? Where might you see polygons, and where can you use classifying them?
On a house.
On a house. Can you give me an example? What you mean?
Like the windows, and if the house is square.
Awesome. Oh, great job. You want to come write it up on the board? Write it on our connections board? Cassie? Stop sign. A stop sign, right? That is one. Okay, you can come right on the board too. Anyone else have a real world connection? Can anyone think of a place where you might use classifying polygons? You might have to separate them into shapes.
It's kind of a baby example, but my little sister plays with this game. It's this thing where she puts shapes into
A polygon sorter.
Plastic yellow box.
Yeah.
And it's really fast and it buzzes.
And you have to get all the shapes inside.
Is that what it's called? Perfection?
It scares me every time.
That's a great example. You can write that on the board. Okay, so I know sometimes we think math doesn't apply, but we all know now that polygons and classifying polygons does apply to real life, okay? And we can remember that. Does anyone have any questions about polygons, properties, classifying? If I gave you a worksheet, do you think you could get 100% on it?
Yes.
Probably not.
Probably not, Donovan. Why not?
I'll probably go too fast and I'll end up missing one.
You probably would, because I would do that too.
Well, I knew what a stop sign was in Canada, even though it didn't say stop.
Because of the shape?
Wait a